everybody. Welcome to another episode of Between Sermons. I'm the host, Brent. I get to be the lead pastor here at Disciples Church. And what this show is all about is taking our message from Sunday and turning it into a conversation, a real dialogue versus that monologue, just a guy on a stage talking at you. And today's episode is going to be, I'm going to call this a special episode because we've hit pause on our walk through the book of Luke. And so Sunday, our founding pastor, my mom, was here. And she got to share the heart of our church for missions, which is really, it's part of the foundation of who we are. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And in order to have this conversation, I need some friends.
We're friends.
Why do you laugh every time I say friends?
I don't know, because when you said we were paid, okay, yep, I'm going to let the past go. Let it go. So we're friends. Welcome, friends.
Hello.
Welcome, Crystal
Thank
Ivy.
you for having me.
Yes. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank
we all
you.
kind of got on black and beige, and so
I
we
went
were
brown.
Well,
brown.
I kind of always have black, but
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, so this is going to be a fun conversation. We did kind of, like you said, a standalone. We went into missions. And what a perfect day to talk about missions as we also celebrated 36 years.
Yeah, it was our 36th anniversary as a church. So
Yeah.
that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So how do you feel about, I mean, you were here since day one.
Yeah, way to blast my age
Right.
just to the whole internet.
Day one.
Yeah, no, it's always fun celebrating the anniversary of the church because it forces you to kind of look back over like how we got to where we are.
Yeah.
And the last few years, obviously, there's been a lot of transition, a lot of change for the church, new lead pastors, then a complete name change just a year ago. And so, like, sometimes it can be like, do you let go of some of that history, some of that foundation to embrace the new thing? And, like, the way I view it is it's building blocks. And so, like, you can't really get rid of the old because it's part of our foundation. It's who we are.
Yeah.
And so, for me, that was just a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
I think
Reflection.
like it was I'm one of those guys. I'm always looking ahead. Like, I don't even celebrate my own birthday.
It's really
we're
bad,
just kind of like moving forward. But on a day like yesterday, it kind of forced me to think back over the years of some of the different people and things and events and stuff. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's nice. A reflecting type
a
of
little
day. Aw.
Do you want to explain why Crystal is in the chair today?
Yes. So Crystal has graciously taken on, what is your official title? Because I call you missions coordinator, and then I heard in the announcements it was like something else. So what is your official title?
I am the missions trip administrator.
Okay.
Yes.
So what does that mean for those watching?
I administrate all things trips.
Okay.
So I'm making sure that when someone signs up for the trip, that their application, everything is going through well, making sure they're provided all the materials and documents that that's needed for their trip. And also when it's time to go on a trip, they have everything that they need. The leaders have all of they need, and I support Pastor Jerry in any of his administrative needs.
Yeah, and what a great support that you've been. I think a great addition to the missions team.
I love it because every time somebody sends me an email
You're
about
like,
missions, I just forward it.
got a
I'm just
person.
like, great
You got a
question. Crystal will help you out.
Yes. Working like with Mama Chris and Pastor Jerry, their hearts is.
You get a Mama Chris, but not a Papa Jerry?
I know. I know. Okay. I was going to say Papa Jerry. Then I was like, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
So, but working with them and their hearts for a mission, I'm sure it's just, it rolls over to you.
Yes.
So do you feel like this is kind of like your new assignment for the season?
I mean, you can't talk to PJ or Pastor Chris if you're hearing them talk about missions, it's like you're fired up, you're ready to go, because you can really see the anointing and the conviction that they have. It's in them. And they have a way of just somebody that like me, and we'll get into that, I'm sure, because the message convicted me in ways, but someone like me who is very risk adverse.
Okay.
And it challenges me in a way like, okay, no, I have to do it, even beyond all of my reservations. And so I'm enjoying my time with them because it is opening another door for me. And challenging me and stretching me in ways that I need right now.
Man, isn't God just so intentional?
Yep.
He is.
I love my parents' just passion for missions because it is infectious. Like, it bleeds over. So my dad's friends used to say that he was a missionary trapped in the local church. Like that was as a pastor, it was like, this dude's really a missionary.
Yeah.
And so, like, what I love about my dad is he just fully embraced it. Like he was just like, all right, so if I'm going to be a pastor, then I'm going to be a pastor who cares about missions.
Yeah.
And man, so from day one, our church has just been hyper focused on the nations. It's why there's the flags in the ceiling.
I was just gonna say the flags. When did the flags go up? At what year?
Flags went up when the building was built. So that would have been 2001. I think that auditorium was built.
Wow.
So yeah, so they've been there the whole time. So I've had pretty much every tech director or creative director that has ever come in and said, "Can we remove the flags from the sanctuary?" Because like they block light, they absorb sound in weird ways. Like it complicates like ministry stuff, and I'm just like, nah, we're not getting rid of them.
No,
we can't.
And so, yeah, well, and we'll see. Like they've proposed other ideas. They're like, okay, what if we didn't remove all of them, but we like moved them in a way that like highlighted our partners, and so it wasn't a flag for every nation, which it still isn't. Like our ceiling isn't large enough for every country to be represented, which is always sad when somebody's like, I don't see the flag for whatever. It's like, and those things went up in 2001. There's like a few countries that are no longer countries.
I know, yeah.
They went up in 2001, and I don't even know where we bought them from to like replace them. So.
That is.
But anyways, they've had like some ideas over the years, and so we may do something new with the flags because it has been 20 something years.
Yeah.
But get rid of them?
No.
Can't do that. But yeah, no. So that that was one of the questions actually. Like 3 years ago, when my wife and I became lead pastors here, some people were like, "So what about missions?" And like it forced me to laugh. I'm like, I went on my first mission trip when I was 12.
Yeah.
I think I've been to like 20 or 30 countries for missions. My wife and I met on the missions field. Like, hello?
Yeah, right. Not going anywhere.
I was you know, the people that had such a huge passion for missions, they raised me.
Yeah.
So missions is absolutely not just foundational for us, but it's ongoing. Like it's part of the current heart of the church.
Yeah.
And it was hard going through COVID because it kind of derailed like just about everything missions related. And then a lot of our partnerships are in what's called the 1040 window, which a lot of the countries in 1040 window right now are at war or there's some kind of like, so some of our partners like we used to go into Russia every year, and it's like, you can't really come into Russia right now.
Man.
You know, we got a ton of partners in Israel, and we've tried to do a couple of things with them. We were supposed to do a youth camp, and then literally the site of the youth camp became the like the triage center for like people that were being displaced and being damaged in the war, and it's like so they had to cancel our reservation in order to care for people, and it was like, oh yeah, we probably shouldn't be there right now.
Right.
Yeah, so like it just basically for the last 5 or 6 years, like missions has been really, really hard to do the way we've always done it, and so we're starting to get a little bit more freedoms to be able to do things again, and so we're hoping that over the next few years we're going to see even just a bigger heart and opportunity, which is part of why we brought Crystal on. It was like, hey, we need some help kind of shifting things back.
I love that. And just to segue into the message, like Mama Chris brought that passion and that fire yesterday.
She bled on that stage.
It was, man, she gave us her all with that message. So what's something that really impacted you from the message yesterday? I know we talked about a little bit about the story. What's his name? William Borden, and he had that grand mission statement. Remind us of that statement.
So he writes in his Bible 3 things. He writes no reserves, no retreats, and no regrets. Not regrets, but regrets. For like the 5 people that get that reference. Right. So basically he graduates high school. And his family sends him on like this world tour. So he travels the world because his family, and I didn't know this part of the story well. Like apparently there's a Chicago like billionaire family in the dairy industry.
Wow.
Like is that something that everybody else knew?
No,
like I didn't know that. Like the way she said on the stage, like the Borden, I'm like,
and he went to a Chicago school.
Yeah. I'm like, like is that different than the what's the milk that comes in the glass bottle? Like the Oberweis. Yeah, I'm like, that's the milk people I know. Right, like, cause that's we call that the good milk. Like, Jaden would be like, "Hey, can you get the good chocolate milk?"
Oh, I love Oberweis.
Yep, Oberweis glass bottle. But yeah, so anyways, so his family sends him around the world as like a graduation present, and he comes back just with a heart for missions. Like it just rocked his world, and so he goes to seminary, decides he's gonna abandon the family fortune, leave the company, become a missionary with the goal of going into China. And he ends up going all the way to Egypt, stops in Egypt to learn Arabic, I think is what he's trying to learn in Egypt. And in that process, gets sick and ends up passing away at only 25 years old. So like this huge like moment, like I'm giving my life for missions, and he dies short of the goal. But it like sparked almost like a missions revolution at the time, where because the news media was just all over this story. I mean, you got a billionaire family's kid has said, I'm leaving my fortunes to go live with nothing in another country to share the gospel. Like that was newsworthy at the time. And so at his passing, it sparked like a whole generation of people that said, I'm going to pick up his banner. I'm going to do what he was trying to do. And so, hundreds, if not thousands, of missionaries were born in his death.
Wow.
Which is just kind of an inspiring moment.
Yeah.
But in his Bible, he had written, no reserves, no retreats, no regrets. And that became kind of like the rally cry of missionaries. It kind of resonated like was it Cortez that did the whole burn the ships thing? It's like when Spain came to Mexico, he's like, hey, we're not going back. And so and then there was a whole movement of missionaries that would literally pack their belongings in coffins, and they would travel to these countries with all of their belongings in a coffin, because they were basically saying, I've left my old life behind, and I'm going to be buried in this country that I'm coming to give my life for. And so it really it sparked the whole thing.
Before you answer the question, I know I asked a question. Another one came to mind. Not even a question, a thought. The parallel between missions and discipleship, and how they're like that. We all land on that verse. Is it Matthew
28:19?
Yes.
Go therefore and make disciples.
Make disciples
of all nations.
Yeah, and like what I'm thinking about is that whole thing of giving up your life for the sake of the gospel. Like that is just so impactful. So I guess it wasn't a question, it was more like a thought. Like it just came to mind. Like but isn't it cool though, just how your parents' mission was like missions, and then like God gave you 2.0 which is discipleship. Like how it goes together.
It's all weaved together. It really is. And I love Jesus says, I'm sending you out into Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. Like there is it's like this expanding circle of influence, I guess, and mission. And so all of us are supposed to be a part of that entire process. And it all stems from making disciples. Like that's what we're doing. Right. And so for us, we'll do some missions that is very humanitarian based, but humanitarian aid is not our focus. It's not our goal, right? So our goal is the gospel, right? To plant churches, to develop leaders, to reach kids, to do these things so that we can make disciples.
Yes.
But we also will admit, we'll acknowledge the fact that I think the way I've said it in the past is it's really hard to hear the gospel over the sound of your stomach growling, right? So the humanitarian stuff is in order to open a door to the gospel, not in and of itself. So it's I forget who famously said, social justice without spiritual justice is no justice at all, right? And so there's some things that yes, we need to be caring about, but it's for a purpose. The bigger picture is the gospel. Because if you feed somebody for the rest of their life but you never give them the gospel, they still end up in hell. Right? So they were just more comfortable. They went to hell with a full belly. And it's just what are you doing? There's a greater need, and that's for salvation.
That's good. Okay. So, what hit home for you guys with that message yesterday? I mean, the delivery was great. Conviction was definitely there. What was something, even one of the points that really God is highlighting in your life to okay, I need you to lean into this?
Well, like I said before, anytime Pastor Chris or PJ share about missions from their heart, you can't walk away without any convictions and really just challenging yourself. But I would say the biggest part for me was that no regrets. And I actually am working through that right now. I do everything cautiously. And as much as it is a good thing, it is also a bad thing, and it hinders me as well, because I overanalyze things. I get in the weeds of it, and what about this and what about that? And that kind of was the case for me actually going to the Philippines. I will be going to the Philippines next month. But that was one of the trips that I always said, no, I'm not going there. The travel is extensive, and so many things with me can go wrong. And I'm halfway across. No, I don't think that's a good place for me. You think about everything.
Yeah.
Well, me, I think about everything. Even it's a tropical climate, and my allergies are going to be insane, and all of the things.
Yeah.
But I knew that that I was hindering myself, and it really wasn't of God. It really wasn't of God, and so I pushed myself. The moment I found out about the trip, I said, I'm signing up for it. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to sign up for it, and we're going to see what happens. And I tell you, everything that could possibly happen has happened to challenge my cautiousness. Even the fact that we're a month out and I still don't have a passport, but that's a long story. We're not going to talk about it.
No, we're here. Let's talk.
I mean, my car was stolen. My passport was in my car.
I mean, that's a challenge.
And so of course, immediately the cautiousness in me is like, okay, no, I'm not going to continue on paying all this money, buying all these things. I don't want to put the team in jeopardy by saying I'm going and don't go. So I'm backing out. That was the first thing that came in mind. And then obviously I was like, no. I just thought about it for a while. You can't. You just continue on as if you were going. Continue on as if you were going. I went up to the passport and thinking I was going to get it with my temporary ID. No, they turned me around. Finally get my ID, and I go and I make the appointment. Oh, it's canceled. The person is sick. Go again.
Hindrance.
Something else happened, and I was like, oh no, this is unbelievable, and still I know that God's called me to do this because I have to push past. I have to have no regrets. I have to do what God tells me to do, no matter how scary it may look for me, because that's just, I have God, no, I have to do this. And so I'm standing on that right now. I have everything packed.
Okay. When is the trip again?
In a month.
Okay.
But
here's the thing. For anybody that doesn't know, if you have a airline ticket within 2 weeks, you can get a passport in less than 48 hours.
Yes.
So it is possible. In the city of Chicago, you go to the passport agency, you wait in a line. Well, you set up an appointment, you wait in a line. I think you've got to pay double the fee, basically. But it is, I've done it a couple of times when we had emergency situations like that. One time I had a passport that was going to expire in less than 6 months, and so they wouldn't approve the visa in order to get into the country because your passport can't expire within a certain number of days. And so found that out like 3 days before the trip. And so had to wait in that line and got that new passport.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is possible. So you don't have to panic.
I'm over the panic because I feel like, well, if anything, that message just gave me more encouragement. Even before the message, I was pushing past my own limitations and making sure that I don't have any regrets and that I'm not getting in my own way when God is telling me to do something. And I think that what this is just a doorway open for so many other things. Yes, I am going and I'm looking forward to it. I know that God is going to do something really new in my life, even through my service. But I do think it's going to open up doors where I'm going to just have a deliverance in that area of being so cautious and reserved and worrying or anxiety and all of the things. I really think God is going to provide deliverance in that for me.
Awesome. I love that.
It's good stuff.
Go God. Go Jesus.
Go God.
What about
for
you?
me? So I don't know. So nothing in the message was new for me.
Yeah.
And part of that is just it's my mom talking from her heart.
Yeah.
So it's like I've experienced those things. I've seen those. I've heard those stories before, or I was part of those stories. And some of them, like I was on that trip to to Senegal.
Okay, yeah.
I've been to Russia, and she shared that story before.
Yeah.
So I don't know that anything was like new, but there was a couple things that were just resonate with me. First would be the no regrets as well. That's my motivation on any trip that I'm on. So I usually tell my team to go home empty. Right, like you don't want to get on the plane and be like, you know what, I probably could have talked to one more person. I probably could have, shared a little bit more here. I probably could have done a little bit more there. Like, go home empty. Go home like you've poured out everything that you have to pour out, because you don't want to have any kind of reserve left in the tank. Like when we get on that plane, everybody should just be quiet. like I'm
drained. I'm tapped.
out.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. And so part of that is when there are opportunities on a trip that come up out of nowhere, like I don't really let my team say no to things. And it's interesting because we went to a country where my team was the second from our church to go. And the first team that went there didn't have that mentality. And so, like, then when my team got there, like, they barely had anything planned for us to do because the other team, like, every time they bring something up, the other team was like, no, we're good with just what we're doing.
Okay.
And so I get there and I'm like, guys, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, come on, man, we're here. Put us to work. And like, well, we got the one event. I'm like, for like 2 hours, we're here 24. Like, like, give us something to do. And so they just were like, okay. And then they like overcompensated. Like, I felt bad for our team because we went like to the wall. Like, it was nonstop every day. But like we ended that trip, and that team, or that the ministry partner that we were with, was like, this was just amazing. Like the impact that you guys were able to make in our teams and on our ministries, like it was just, please come back, come back.
Wow.
And so we do. Like it's one of our ongoing. We go back there every other year or so.
Okay.
But it is one of those where I don't want regrets. Like, I would hate to be sitting on the plane feeling like, man, I wish I had.
Yeah, because it's not down the street.
Right? Yeah. Dude, you pay all that money.
Right.
You got on that plane.
You better.
Look, I know you're tired, but if they're like, hey, we're going to do a prayer service tonight at midnight. Awesome. Let's go.
That's true.
I'll sleep on the plane.
Right.
Like, I'll sleep when I get home.
Man.
Or what I always tell people, you can sleep when you're dead. Because
Yes.
this is what happens when you're raised by Pastor Jerry and Pastor Chris.
I was
like,
going to say, and so you already know what it's going to look like for us in a month, because this is the son of the person that's leading this trip.
I mean,
yeah, but Philippines is like, man, Philippines. Oh, I shouldn't say it like this. If there's an aspect of the Philippines, it's straight up vacation, man. You're like, the people are just so caring and so nice.
Yeah.
And, like you have to go like out of your way to like tell them, like, stop taking care of me. I'm here to serve you. Like, but there's just such a servant heart in the Philippines that it's hard to not be served there. And it's like, but I'm here to pour out. And they're like, no.
I'm sure that we're going to learn a lot. I'm sure they're going to teach us a lot.
Yeah. No, the Philippines is amazing.
Yes.
It's my favorite. But yeah, so that no regrets thing, it was big for me. The other one was the seeing people. And I think part of that is personality. Like my mom and I, we share kind of that task-based mentality.
I can see it for you. When she said it, I was like, I think you see people.
Yeah. She's less of a problem than I am.
She's had more time to work on
Okay,
it.
she's grown.
Yes.
She's from glory to glory.
I'm still working.
Man,
I'm a work
hurry
in
up
progress.
years.
No, but and so like I've actually done a lot of teachings in the past because God's had to do so much. Like if you met me 20 years ago, I was worse than I am now.
Woo, child.
So I've
The Lord
improved.
knows.
God
Timing
bless.
is
Look at
good.
that.
I'm hearing the right timing.
Well, you're noticing there's still a long way for Brent to go. Just imagine if I hadn't been making progress.
Man.
No, so I've done a few teachings on the whole seeing people, and so like I've taught an acronym for C that you have to stop, examine, and engage. In order to really genuinely see people. Like so often we don't see people because we're just too busy. We don't stop long enough to really pay attention. And then I am an analytical person, and so that examine piece for me is huge, because when you actually stop to see somebody, like, do you really see them? Or are you like, you have to examine the details, their body language, their posture, the things that they're saying. It's like, okay, there was a pause there was a hesitation, there's more that they want to say, but they don't know if they have the freedom to. Okay, so you have to examine all of these things that are happening with people, being very observant. if you're really going to see people, and then you have to engage. Like it's one thing to see somebody, it's another thing to actually talk to them and with them. And so like that was a lesson that I was learning big in my thrift store days. So we're going way back in ministry.
Yeah.
Some of you didn't know I was a manager of a thrift store.
Oh,
for the
I
church.
didn't know.
It was the church's thrift store, and I managed it, and it was weird.
It was
The weirdest season.
Weird.
It was the weirdest season of my life. So literally, I had been a youth pastor at that point for probably 6 or 7 years straight. So like all I knew in ministry was like teenage boys. Like that was my focal point. And then they moved us out to do outreach for a campus launch, and they owned a thrift store. And so I stepped in as the new manager of the thrift store, and day one they're like, okay, our target audience is 60-year-old women.
Oh,
and I was like,
what?
How did I go from like 16-year-old boys to 60-year-old women?
That was your
like,
wilderness stage.
Man, it was weird. It was a weird season. But part of the thrift store was also we ran a food pantry out of the back. So people were coming in, making donations, receiving care. We had a large homeless population in that area. So it became, that was my proving ground of can you actually see people?
Wow.
Those people are coming in with needs.
That's a big one.
And I started realizing there's a lot of people that would come in and kind of wander the shop, and you could almost pick them out of a lineup by the time I was done in there, that like they just had the same body language, the same posture. It was people who needed help but had not yet reached that place where they were comfortable asking for help. And you get totally different people. Like some people walk straight to the front and like,
Right.
I need help.
Right.
And other people, it's just really hard for them. Like it's the first time they've been in that place.
They were waiting for someone to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so being able to recognize that and be able to offer care and assistance. So like I had to quickly learn to actually see people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, thank you, Jesus, for Pastor Sprint's season and
Growth.
Season of growth.
There's
and
hope for all of us,
There's
right?
hope.
Yeah, that was a good one. Because I find I'm quite the same too. I can get busy and down and just focused on what I have to do and my task, very task oriented, and I can miss what's around me. So that's something I pray about every day.
It's so interesting to hear that people called to ministry struggle with seeing people, but because it is another side to excellency. Like you want to do the tasks and things ahead. So people, that's another way of serving. So I guess it's finding that balance.
But it's recognizing that, we all have our limitations, but with the Holy Spirit, we can just about do whatever. And if that's what He's called us to do, He'll allow us. We just have to submit to the Holy Spirit. And that's one thing I do. Like, get my attention. Holy Spirit, get my attention when I am doing this. Help me to recognize and know that I'm overlooking or I'm too busy here. I'm in the weeds. Yeah. And that comes by the Holy Spirit, but it also comes by other people too around me. You know, my husband is a big one, like Crystal. You know, it's time. It's done. Yeah. Like you can't go any further with this. We have to move on. Or, you know, now it's time. Just forget about that. Where you set up everything. Everything is perfect now. Now we're focusing on the people in our group. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
Now let's just focus on our group. So I think it is just understanding who you are.
Yeah.
Part of what I love with it is it's just a reminder that God doesn't only choose one type of person.
That's true.
Right? And so like if the church was just filled with all, you know, if we talk about like the church is the body of Christ, like if all we had was a right arm, like everybody's a right arm, it's like, well, where are we going?
Nothing's getting done.
This is not going to be effective.
Yeah.
Right? And so God actually calls all people into a relationship with Him and to service of Him. And so being able to find your place within that. And I think the biggest advice I guess I have for people is you got to recognize where your giftings are and where your weaknesses are, and you don't excuse or justify, well, I'm not good at that, so I'm just going to focus in over here. Like I think that's unhealthy. I do think that you do need to be aware of those weaknesses, and then for me, part is I work on weaknesses to not become detrimental. I don't necessarily think that my weaknesses are ever going to become my strengths, right? Like it's just, that's a chasm, maybe a little bit too far. However, I can minimize the damage that my weaknesses can do, and then as the head of an organization, I can also surround myself with people who have strengths in areas that I'm weak, right? So like I use this example all the time, but like that's pretty much why Asa is on the team. Right? Like Asa is so great with people. He's so caring, so gentle. like all of the things that I'm not. And it's funny because it used to be just me and Carlton, like doing all kinds of stuff. And Carlton and I have the exact same personality.
Yeah.
We are literally the same person.
Yes.
And so we're looking at each other and we're like, yeah, we need a counterpart. And it turned out to be Asa.
Yeah.
But yeah. Being able to bring in people that can have the strengths where you're weak, I think helps.
Yeah.
Lean on each other for ministry and for life.
I love that. I had actually a conversation like that with a friend. You know, those tough conversations where you like, they're telling you where you can grow and you want to like defend yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But don't you see how awesome I am over there?
Right. But yeah, we all need that. And you can find that in groups, like finding, that's a good way to sharpen your people skills or leadership, or just know your areas of weaknesses.
Yeah. It's a big part of why we do missions with teams.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you put together a team for a missions trip, like
good.
you're bringing in all kinds of different personalities and giftings and skill sets. And it's just, man, you're making this like random hodgepodge crock pot of just different things,
right?
Throwing it all together, and you're
but
like,
it all works,
right.
And it does.
Man, I love that. So there was a moment in her message, Pastor Chris's message, where she talked about that losing her friend and how that really, really impacted her and kind of put her on this path to like, I'm sold out, I'm done.
Yeah.
Can you recall a moment similar where maybe it wasn't losing someone, but do you have that moment where you was like, oh, I'm sold out, I'm done?
Yeah, I think I've shared mine before, so I'll try and hit it quick. But so all the way from my first mission trip at 12 till I turned 18, like missions and serving God was always a part of my life. But at 18, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, like if it was ministry or if it was something else. And so I ended up getting into an internship program at a church where it was basically one of those situations where I was told, if you get into this program, it's because that's what God wants for your life. Like, you'll get rejected if this isn't what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. It means I don't have to make the decision.
Right.
Literally, like at 18, I was like, hey, if somebody else is going to tell me yes or no, sweet, I'll go for it.
That's funny.
So I went to this internship, and like the first month of the program is just absolutely brutal. Just beats you up, wears you out, all this stuff. And towards the end of that first month or two in the program, I think I'm actually at the 3-month mark, we did a simulated missions training over the course of 5 days. And it was we always tease that I should tell like all the stories from that, but I don't want anybody to get arrested. And there are definitely some things that happened during that training that, I don't think that's kosher. Like, I don't think that you're supposed to do that. Like, when I see like college hazing things like get out of control, it's like 5 days of that. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And so like it was super intense, and it literally ends with like an interrogation, a mock interrogation where you're arrested in an underground church and you're interrogated under these spotlights by a guy that's got dried blood on his hands and smoking a cigar, and like it's the most like it literally is like the most ridiculous thing.
Like, I have anxiety right now.
Met the guy afterwards, really nice guy. Apparently he was an Army Ranger in Mogadishu you remember the movie Black Hawk Down?
Yeah,
he was like in the actual operation.
Wow.
So that's the guy that did my interrogation. That was fun.
Wow.
And so like we just go through all of this stuff, 5 days sleep deprivation. It is just the most ridiculously intense thing, and that explains a lot of why I am the way I am now. If you think I'm hard now, like that's nothing. But it ends with your execution. Like, so they literally say deny Christ or we pull the trigger, and then they cock a gun in your ear and you hear it and all that, and then they pull the trigger when you say no. And so a blank round actually goes off, like it's deafening, and then everything just goes quiet, and you're just sitting there, and then they start reading your obituary, like to you, that you apparently helped write like the month before that you didn't even realize, but like somebody interviewed you like, hey, what do you want to do in your life? And hey, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And if you could say one thing about your life at the end, like, what would it be? What would be on your tombstone? Like, they ask you all these questions, and then they weave that into an obituary that they read for you. And then they take you from that like super emotional moment. A bunch of people give you hugs, and then they just send you into a quiet room to just process. They hand you a journal and a pen, and they just say, go sit and wait, because there's there's like 80 of us in the program at that point, so it takes a while to kill 80 people. Fake kill 80 people.
Let's say that. Let's make sure we clarify.
Hi, YouTube. And so I'm sitting in this quiet room. There's like praise music playing, and it's really dark in the room. So like as people are like coming in, they're just everybody's crying and like writing in their journals. And I literally I wrote in my journal that day, my life for the gospel. And it was one of those where it felt like over those 5 days and the way it culminated that I was in a place in my life where I could actually say it and mean it. That whatever it takes, whatever God asks me to do, my answer is yes. Doesn't matter my fears, my worries, my weaknesses. None of it matters. All that matters is God.
Yeah.
And so if he tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. So my life for the gospel is what I wrote in that journal. And then I just closed because I'm not a big journaler. So one sentence was enough for me, I think.
You need to journal
no,
more.
I take it back. No, I did write more and some other things, but that was the culminating message of what I wrote. And so from that moment on, and so it was shortly after my 19th birthday is when that took place.
Oh, wow.
And so from that moment until now I'm 41, and that's been my same drive, my same heart. So that was the catalyst for me. So for my mother, it was her friend dying. For me, it was me dying. Yeah. It's easy to live like a dead man when you've already experienced the death.
That's true.
That's good.
Wow.
Are you going to haze your sons like that?
No.
When they turn 19?
No.
I was going to send Neo to your house and let for 5 days. Let them be tortured.
I've taken people through things
similar.
like that. So actually my job in the internship that next year, or actually part of that same year, but especially my second year in the program, was to put on that event for our people, but we also did for like youth ministries and for some college programs and stuff. So like I killed a lot of people.
Okay.
Clarify.
Fake
killing.
Fake
Not
kill,
really.
Not take buzzer. You know the algorithm gonna be like,
Algorithm's gonna be flagging this thing like crazy.
We're gonna have FBI agents here on Sunday.
Like, and where was this internship?
Right. In the mountains? No. Okay. Yeah. What about you, Crystal?
Mine was similar to.
You went to the
past-
same. Oh no! Like, what is
The guy
happening?
smoking a cigar flipped you over a table?
It was similar to Pastor
Is that how
Chris.
you put the pastors through a process here?
Man, can you imagine trying to intimidate Carlton like that, though? You know how big of a guy I would have to find?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry.
Yo,
Will
but
it in?
It was similar to Pastor Chris in that my high school best friend, we from probably like freshman year of high school, we met and we have been friends. But at the age of 33, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and so we went on a 2-year journey of dealing with this with her, and she did pass away. I think we were 35, and I just felt like, one, I shouldn't be going through this, and we're too young. She left small children.
Wow.
We were raising small children at that time, and it was just a lot hit me, and I said, we don't know. Like, because up until that point, I think we just feel like, oh, we're young and this is not going to hit us. We don't really see that. But seeing tragedy hit at that age, it made me really just reflect and think that this could happen to any of us at any time. And as much as we feel like we have a lot of time, we don't. And so, again, no regrets. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I need to do, because tomorrow isn't promised. I want to just lay it all out. And I really think that that was a turning point for me, and just my relationship with God, and really self-reflecting. What am I doing? Am I doing enough? And I really just had like a year-long reflection and just internal monologue, but also bringing God in and asking him to really search my heart. It took a couple of years to really just search my heart and see, am I doing enough? What do I need to do? And whatever it is you're calling me to do, I'm going to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's been my journey ever since.
Your journey.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like it is a process. I don't know if it's like well, for at least for me, I don't feel like it was like one thing. I think I've been wrestling. Maybe like 6 months or to a year before I even stepped into my role. The very first role I had here as a social media person. I was wrestling with leaving full-time entrepreneurship to come into ministry, and before that was even brought to my as an opportunity, God was telling me like, I'm moving you into a different space, and I'm like, well, I can still do business. And then my identity was totally
into your business,
because I had spent 7 years building this brand. I'm a publishing expert, and then God was like, yeah, you got to give all that up. And I'm like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? So I wrestle with my identity. And I think even coming into this space, I still wrestle with my identity. Like, how do I show up? Like, so just God taking those layers off of me and constantly revealing to me his will, and me dying daily. So I don't know if it's a one-time thing, but it's a constant like dying daily to what God is calling you to do.
So Paul said, I die daily.
Yeah. Well, let's move into that space where we're giving some practical takeaways, because I mean, we even heard the story of her when she was in the airport and she had that scare moment when the Russian soldiers walked past with a gun. Listen, I would have been the same thing. Mama Chris, that would have been me too. Where's David? Where's my teeth? So, I mean...
And that's something you do get more used to. Like,
okay.
we're not used to,
we're just not used to
that in the U.S., but you go to just about any other country, even in Europe, like, you see military walking through airports with more than just a handgun.
It was definitely like that in Israel.
Yeah.
They're all... We were at the mall ordering food, and it was just a group of soldiers come by with all of their gear on, and they were ordering food with us.
Yep.
It was just
super
everyday
normal.
occurrence. Yeah, it's so normal.
It's just, I've seen too many movies, maybe.
Well, I will say, like, the Russians are always the bad guys. Like every action, like I grew up in the 90s. Like every 90s action movie, it's the Russians. It's always the Russians.
Yeah.
And Pastor Chris shared that. I don't know, that's one of her stories where she said she was so fearful about Russians bombing the United States growing up.
That
So,
was,
that was terrifying. That was triggering for her.
Yeah. But I think the part we can take from that story is that fear can really cripple us and trigger us and cause us from missions. I think is one of the biggest things that people are like, okay, I'll sign up to die everywhere but this area. Like, you want me to go where to preach the gospel? And so I think that's a good place to start, just giving practical ways we can submit ourselves and die daily. What's some ways we could give to our viewers from the message that can be some practical takeaways?
So I would start with anywhere we go on missions with our church is safe.
It's safe.
Like that's why that's why we haven't been going to Israel lately. That's why we didn't go with a full team to northern Nigeria. That's why we didn't, that's why we stopped doing our trips to Russia. Like we don't take church members into dangerous places. And that's just wisdom and safety and precaution. So just know if we're going somewhere, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we go to places that haven't heard the gospel. But, like, our Japan trip, you're going to be safer in Japan than anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
I've heard that.
That fear will actually make you irrational because I'm telling myself a little bit here. How many times have I Googled, hey, we're going to Philippines. Do you think that Iran war is going to affect this? It's not even in the same direction, girl. Stop it.
You Googled
right? I'm like, what do you think? So no,
and even the places that we go to in the Philippines are
it's
because there are some islands that's like but no, where we go, it's very safe. Japan, super safe. Panama, super safe. Where else are we going? The UK. UK is probably the most dangerous of all the places.
Oh, and that's where I'm going.
Well, I said that tongue in cheek. I said that tongue in cheek because most people would think UK would be the safe one, but it's like violent crime in the UK is probably higher than just like violent crime in Panama. And so it's just you'll be fine.
New fear unlocked.
If you can survive Chicago,
you can survive.
You're gonna be fine.
That's
anywhere.
hilarious.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, so basically the starting point is saying, okay, like the way you said it is perfect. Like the fear is irrational. Now, if it's just fear of flying or fear of the unknown or fear of stepping out or fear of I'm going to raise all this money or I'm not going to raise all this money or whatever, those fears are different. But as far as like a fear for your safety, like that should not be a concern for anybody going on a trip with us. And that's coming from somebody who has done trips that were not safe. But I would never take somebody else into those places. Right. That's a my decision kind of thing. So that would be kind of my starting point, is recognize that some of this is irrational fear. And then the next thing that I got for you is probably not all that helpful. So hopefully the two of you can make it more helpful.
Brace yourself.
Like, do the hard thing.
That's true.
Okay,
like
that was good.
I don't have any
you're gonna do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
That's what courage is.
Yeah.
Like, courage is not getting rid of fear. It's not like, well, if I do these 6 things, then I'll no longer be afraid. It's no, like, do the thing you're afraid of. Like, you're afraid of heights, you got to go up somewhere high. Like, that's how you get over fears. Like, you do the thing, and then you realize, oh, I didn't really have. It was irrational for me to be afraid of this. Like, I don't need to be afraid.
I agree totally with that. I tell myself that every day. Do it afraid.
Yeah. Do it afraid. Just do it. Come on, Nike had a point.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Just do it. Like, you're scared, you're nervous. There's a million reasons why you can be afraid, but at the end of the day, Jesus said go. So are you going to allow fear to stop your obedience?
So good.
How do you know, like, some people literally have said, like, I don't feel called to missions. Do you think that's a specific feeling, or do you think it's just a command that he's given all of his disciples?
So I think that there's different levels of it, for sure. So when somebody says they're not called to missions, I think that would always be an incorrect statement, because every disciple is called to missions. Because missions, you have a purpose, you have a mission to preach the gospel. Like, that's your mission. Missions is just us taking that seriously, locally and abroad. Now, if somebody says, I just don't think that God has called me to become a missionary, sure. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I do think that there are some people that God literally wants you to leave here and go live somewhere else and pack all your belongings into a coffin and just commit your life to something. Absolutely, 100%. But I think every disciple is called to missions. And so the 3 processes that we usually talk about is pray, give, or go. And I would even say those aren't even like optional, like different options. Like, you should be doing all 3. If you're serious about your faith, if you're serious about the gospel, if you're serious about the Great Commission, then you're going to pray about it, you're going to give towards it, and you're going to go. But your going could be a 1-week trip. Your going could be joining one of our outreach programs here in Chicagoland. Like, your going doesn't necessarily always have to involve an airplane. But that's why Jesus said to start in Jerusalem. It's like, it's where you are. Like, are you a missionary in Homewood? In Oak Lawn? Wherever you are, in the workplace that are you a missionary at Amazon? Right, you're packing boxes at Amazon. Amazon's maybe a bad example because I think they penalize you for going to the bathroom. So they probably would penalize you for like taking time to like tell somebody about Jesus. But I don't know.
People just not gonna like us because you be.
Look, I love it. I just got a notification that something from Amazon was delivered to my house just now. So
that's hilarious.
Anyways,
we love Amazon.
We love Amazon.
But yeah, so I think that it does start with right where you are, but I think that there is still a calling to go beyond just right where you are. It's to go to your city, to the surrounding area, to the broader picture, and then all over the world. And some people may never actually get their passport and get on a plane, and they could still say, but I was faithful to the Great Commission. I gave, I prayed, I went where I could go.
That's good.
And because, I mean, there's medical reasons, there's other reasons. Like, right now, missions is really hard for my wife and I to go because of the ages of our kids, the fact that we have a cow living in our home, and then another dog.
The horse. Okay.
How big? One of our dogs.
Duffy, which one?
Roy. One of our dogs is a cat.
He's gotten bigger.
He is massive. We're about to give him a haircut, so he's gonna slim down a little bit because right now it's just like but he's like 120 pounds.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
there's a cow living in my house. He was on the bed earlier this morning, like hovering over my wife, and I just looked and like I couldn't see her.
Oh gosh.
Like it was like I knew she was behind him, but like literally I couldn't see a single part of her because it's just so massive.
Oh gosh.
And then we got 2 cats, and so like it's like, okay, where we are with family and everything, like going is harder.
Yeah.
Now we're still going. It's just we can't do it as frequently or as easily. So like there's a lot that has to happen in order for that to take place. And then it also becomes a soul goes and I stay. I go, she stays, where we would love to be able to go together. So like I get that there's different, seasons and reasons why getting on an airplane may not be part of what you can do in this moment. But to say that I'm not called to missions, I would say that is 100% always false.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, there you have it.
Too harsh? Was that too?
No, you're good. I mean, sometimes, you just got to say the hard things.
Yeah. I think everybody should go. I would love for every single person that calls DC home to at least go on one short-term missions trip out of the country. Everyone. Kids, teens, adults, everybody. It opens your eyes. It gives you a fresh perspective. It gives you insight into the world, right? I mean, with everything in the news right now with Iran, it's amazing to me how many people have opinions on what's happening that don't know anybody in the region, that haven't been to the region, but they've got really strong emotions and feelings about it. And from my social media feed, the people that have not been and don't know people have an opinion in one direction. Everybody that does know people or has been in the region has an opinion in a totally different direction. And so, man, it just broadens your worldview. And so I think, man, I would love for every single person to go on a trip at least once. See the world that God created.
I think that's awesome. Well, let's do our takeaways. Let's land the plane. We kind of did it with a little bit, but
I'm like, I don't know if I got anything else.
I know. Dig deep. If someone was standing in front of you and you had one thing to tell them about this message that they can go and apply today, what would it be?
You're looking at me first? I feel like I'm talking all the time.
Well, let's start with Crystal then. Then you. Cool. Give you a break.
Go, give it a try. Stretch yourself. Look past all of the excuses or the fears. Just do it. Just do it.
We are giving Nike some money.
Can we get some money? Yeah. You won't regret it. I do. I do feel like God is really going to meet you there because you're making a step. That one step you make towards Him, He's making 1,000 steps back towards you. The reward is just going to be so much greater than what you can even think about.
I agree. Good.
Yeah, I would just say there's 3 trips left this year that you can be a part of. So we've got a team going to Japan, a team going to Panama, and a team going to the UK for this year. And then we have one advertised for next year already, which is Senegal medical trip. We'll have others for next year that we'll announce later on in the year, but for right now, that's the one that we're already taking teams, getting teams prepared. Because when we do a medical trip, it takes a little bit more work, raising medical supplies and medications and different things. So anyways, Japan, it's about a 1% Christian nation, but there's no hostility to the gospel. It's one of those rare places where the gospel has not been able to break through in modern time. But it's not because of opposition. It's it's probably just because of comfort and apathy, right? So going into Japan, being able to encourage a local church pastor is huge, because when you're in a 1%, that means like his church members don't go to work with other Christians. Like, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have a workplace with a dozen other Christians in the place. Even if they don't come to your church, you got Christians around. You can find Christian community. In Japan, it's really hard to find Christian community. And so when you have it, like it becomes even more precious. And so being able to encourage them and just be there to be a support, but also what it does for them for evangelism is huge, because having a team come in gives you an attraction. So like a lot of their outreach that they do is based around the English language. So like they do English cafe and they do English classes and like conversation and things. They get into schools that offer English programs. And so bringing in a bunch of Americans gives them, hey, there's some Americans at our church this weekend that you can talk to and practice your English with. And so it becomes a draw for evangelism for them. And so just your presence there is an encouragement, but it's also a tool. And in Japan, I mean, literally all you have to be able to do is talk to somebody. Like it's all conversation based.
Wow.
And so it's super easy trip to be a part of. Food's amazing. The cleanliness, the safety of everything is amazing. Like it's an awesome trip.
Dang,
Japan, highly recommend. And you'll get to learn some really interesting history because in that region is actually where there's a monument for Christians who were martyred. And it's heartbreaking, but it's also inspiring. And you can actually go and you can read stories about teenagers that said, if it's the choices between my life or denying Christ, I give up my life. And just seeing their conviction in that, it's just it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
And then you can also see the memorial to the atomic bomb that was dropped in Nagasaki because we're in a suburb of Nagasaki when we go. So like there's some history that you're gonna gain. Just amazing people, amazing food. So go to Japan. If that's not your cup of tea, go to Panama. Panama's it's a youth-led trip, so the target there is youth, but we do need adults to go as well to assist with ministry, chaperone, all that. So just know if you go on that trip, you're gonna be around a lot of teenagers.
Yeah.
So if you don't like teenagers, that might not be the one for you. But Panama is amazing. It's a beautiful place. You're gonna bump into a lot of what's called expats. So they've retired in Panama. In fact, I just talked to a couple in our church that they're planning to retire to Panama later this year, early next year. They're like, man, that's amazing that you guys are going to be where we're trying to retire. And I was like, yeah, I'll connect you. But Panama, beautiful place, beautiful country. Again, great food. I don't know why food becomes the highlight everywhere, but great food. Not the UK.
The UK don't have. Are you just coming for the UK?
Fish and chips is great, but that's about all they got.
Dang,
like a full like the English breakfast is disgusting. Like beans and toast. Like what's wrong with you people? Like the UK is just I don't know. But UK does have some good food, but it's just it's kind of like American food where it's like it's not really theirs.
Yeah.
Like you can get some great Indian food.
Okay.
In the UK, but it's like
not,
like a great curry.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, so anyway, I don't know why we're talking about food.
Because you're hungry and I'm hungry and we're hungry.
What it is. So Panama, go on the Panama trip. You're going to be working in schools. You're going to be doing evangelism. You're working with a local church that does a feeding program. It's going to be a lot of kid-based ministry. But then there's also an indigenous people group that we reach there that their well collapsed a couple of years ago, and so they don't have access to clean water right there, and so we've been raising money and we're going to go out and we're going to support the rebuilding of the well. And just it's an awesome organization there, and they set up like a clinic for girls who are pregnant but live in like the mountains and the villages where the trip from their village to the actual hospital is too far. Like a lot of them actually will end up having major birth complications. Some have even died because if there's any kind of complication, they can't get to a hospital in time. And so they set up this kind of clinic area, and so it's really cool what they're able to do, and you get to be a part of all that. And then the last one is the UK, and Taisha's going to go on that one, so that should be incentive enough, right? Get to hang out with Ty for a
Praise
little bit.
the Lord.
But no, in
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So the UK trip, if you're interested in that, it's going to be a lot of street evangelism. It's going to be a lot of working with immigrants, a lot of Muslim population in the UK, where they're finally in a place where you can actually openly share the gospel with them. And so it's a huge opportunity. Where a lot of these people are coming from countries where
picking is
you
right.
cannot, right? Yeah, so it's huge. So if you want to be able to minister to Muslims, you want to do street evangelism, you want to just work with an outreach organization, that's what UK is all about. So we got a little bit of everything in those 3 trips that are left. So jump on board.
Yeah. David loves street evangelism. He used to do it all the time. So that was like perfect trip for him.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have a blast.
No, that's great. I think my last thing is just live with no regret for the gospel. Let's make that clear. Don't be out there doing crazy things.
Good point.
For the gospel's sake, I would even encourage you to get a journal or write in your Luke journal maybe 3 goals that you have for this year that you really want to step out and do. Prayerfully, one of them is to go on a missions trip, and just submit to that process, however it looks, and say, I'm not going to have regret in these 3 areas. And so that's my takeaway for you, is live with no regret. So yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah. So if you didn't, like always, get an opportunity to hear the message, it is available on our YouTube channel. So just exit this video and go to the next video, go to our page and hit the first video for the week. And you'll see that. And yeah, if you have any questions or want to know more information about missions, make sure, how can they reach you, Crystal?
Crystal at dc.one.
Yes.
That's Crystal with a K.
Crystal with a K. Crystal with a K.
Not to be confused with your sister-in-law.
Right, because
who's
I
Crystal
would
with a
say
C.
we blowing up the wrong Crystal, and she'd be like, "I'm getting all these mission inquiries."
I literally I have to delete your email so many times when I'm just typing fast, and it's too many crystals.
Yes. So that's a good way. Thank you for sharing that information. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. And so I think it's safe to say when we do our Mission Sunday, you'll be our guest for that one. Come on. So